Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're wondering what is behind me, is this object. So I found a cool spot to sit down and read the news for you, and then we will walk a little bit behind me. Over there is a cool area too. What do I have for you today, everyone? Well, I will start with a drone attack that hit Russian airbase. This is very fresh news, about an hour, a little bit more than an hour ago. Then I have some new law that was signed by President Putin that allows foreign banks to open branches in Russia. We will go through this. I will have some information about YouTube in Russia, what's going on with YouTube in Russia, and also one comment here from Alexander Lukashenko about World War III. And we will end this video with a great comment from someone who is from previously Yugoslavia. Very good comment, I really appreciate it. So I'm going to read you this, and just a side note before we start, a little personal. Some of you don't know, I was actually made in Yugoslavia. That's what I was told when my parents went on honeymoon, and they always spoke very highly about the beauty of Yugoslavia. And visited many cities. I have never been to Croatia. I've been to Serbia briefly, to Belgrade for 2 nights, but Croatia is on my list. Well, that was Yugoslavia, is on my list of places to visit. So hello to all of you from that region. Let's start with the drone attack that hits Russian airbase. The governor of the western Russian region of Lipetsk has ordered evacuation after explosions were reported at the nearby airbase. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces continue operations in Kursk. Russia has reported a massive attack on this airbase. Villages around the targeted area, some 330 kilometers, which is around 210 miles from the Ukrainian border, were evacuated. The governor first rejected calls on social media for people to leave the area, saying they were spread by the enemy in order to sow panic. However, he quickly changed course, issuing evacuation orders for the 4 villages on the outskirts of Lipetsk city. Quoting now the governor, and his name is, one second everyone, Artamonov, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He says to eliminate the consequences of the detonation of explosive objects, a state of emergency is introduced in Lipetsk municipal district. Temporary accommodation points and transports are being prepared. Later he said that the threat level has been lifted, but at least 6 people had been killed according to the preliminary reports, and that explosions had damaged power facilities. The Russian Defense Ministry said that 75 Ukrainian drones across various regions, including Lipetsk, had been shut down overnight. It was not immediately clear how many drones got through. That's intense, huh? One night, 75 drones. So this is very latest, very new. Now let's go to, shall we go to the comment? Yeah, let's go to the comment of Lukashenko, the president of Belarus, that he said this yesterday on August 8. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko warns that the United States may use the conflict in the Middle East to start a new World War III. God forbid, he says, they might use the conflict situation in the Middle East to unleash a new world war. They are ready to go that far. The Belta news agency quotes Lukashenko he was saying this at the meeting with the CIS interior ministers. Under the current President Joe Biden, the US policy in the world seemed to have been arranged somehow, as Lukashenko said, quoting him, "It was determined. There are friends and there are enemies. This one is of A, but ours, and that one is a foe. If the regime changes, it will be like in Afghanistan. It will be exactly like in Afghanistan, not for the first time. They need to unleash some kind of war for sake of regime change." He pointed out that he was not indulging in propaganda against the US or some traditional allies of CIS countries. Quoting Lukashenko, "You should be on friendly terms with everyone and build relations with everyone who wants them. But do not waste what we have created in recent years. This largely depends on us, law enforcers. A lot depends on us." This thought occurred to me on the way to this meeting, Lukashenko added. Yeah, I mean, he says it like it is in simple words, and many people don't like it, but that's what it is. Let's go into YouTube story, everyone, and then I will tell you about the new law that President Putin has just signed regarding banks. So, YouTube in Russia. Just to tell you that when I was in Russia, I never had any issues with YouTube. As far as, downloading videos, posting videos, I had issues with internet sometimes, but with YouTube, not so much. It seems to me like since I left, and that was, I forgot the day, the last day of July, I believe, or it was first days of August, I forgot already. I left, in July, the last days of July. It seems like after I left, there has been some issues with YouTube. Moscow, August 8, yesterday, the browser version of YouTube does not open on PCs in Russia, according to some users. TASS correspondent noted that only VPN services and viewing videos in mobile browsers solve the problem. The YouTube mobile application on Android continues to work. Meanwhile, since the beginning of the day, 5,710 users have reported problems accessing the platform, according to data from the service SBOI.RF. According to the service, the largest number of complaints came from Moscow, that's around 21%, from St. Petersburg 8%, the Krasnodar region and the Sverdlovsk region 5%. So, if any one of you is watching me from Russia, let me know what kind of browsers you are using and how is the situation. I would like to know, because as you know, I am planning to move there and have my own little house there. And by the way, thank you so much for all your donations. I want to say officially to all of you, I don't thank you personally, but I'm immensely grateful for that. I appreciate very much. But with this being said, you have to focus on other platforms, because this is the main platform you find me on. If you go on locals, you still see my videos that I put out there. They are... One second, let me just pass this group of people so I feel more comfortable recording. Okay, so if you go on locals, you still have my YouTube videos there on locals. However, I can easily put a regular video just on locals. That's why I encourage you guys to go on locals and just join me there. If you choose to support me, you can do it, but joining is free of charge. So you just make a choice if you become supporter monthly or not. But I appreciate that too. Let's talk about this law about banks that Putin has just signed into existence. Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a law that allows foreign banks to open branches in Russia, but also provides for a number of restrictions on their activities. Before I continue, I want to show you, I don't know if I showed you this before, a sculpture with birds. So, the goal is to create conditions for the development of a system of international settlements and attracting foreign investments. The explanatory note says, the work of branches of foreign banks will be aimed precisely at this. That is why they will not be able, like ordinary banks, to open deposits for individuals and companies, accounts in precious metals, engage in trust management of money and other property. Foreign banks will have the right to work in the securities market through a branch created in Russia. each bank will be allowed to establish only one branch. The law also provides for settling requirements. Okay, let me go. Settling requirements. Where was it? She distracted me. Sorry. Let me find my line in this because I like a little bit privacy. Okay. Sorry guys, where I was. Let me start from the beginning again. Foreign banks will have the right to work in the securities market through a branch created in Russia. Each bank will be allowed to establish only one branch. The law also provides for settling requirements for the qualifications and business reputation of the bank's officials. I am completely, absolutely not an expert in any banking system or economy or finances. So those of you who know exactly what this means, what is the purpose, even though has been described here, but if you can tell the audience what is the intention with this for Russia mainly, I would really appreciate, and I have the best audience I could possibly ask for, because you are savvy in so many topics, is unbelievable. So let's end with a great comment of the day. That is from Dragan Zdravko Gabriel, who says, this is from the video yesterday in which I was telling you about Scott Ritter's home being searched by FBI, and this comment says, I usually don't leave comments, but what is happening with Mr. Ritter made me very sad and angry. I was born in Yugoslavia at the end of war, during the bombing by the Allies, and at the time when the monarchy was abolished and the social system was introduced. And I know what the reign of terror means. Unfortunately, I now recognize this in America, a country that I considered a beacon of democracy. I also lived in America for a couple of years in the 70s of the last century, but I didn't want to stay there because I saw even then that if you steal $1, you go to prison, and if you steal $1 million, everyone celebrates you. I survived both the breakup of Yugoslavia and the bombing by America, and I completely understand everything that is happening today in Russia, which they want to destroy, like they destroyed us. I am very sorry that all this is happening to Mr. Ritter, because I really appreciate his comments, but justice will prevail in the end, and as you say, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. If your name is Zdravko, thank you so much for your comment. I really appreciate it. I know that majority of my audience, if not all of my audience, shares this opinion with you. I am also, I have so much trust in God and the higher power and in Jesus and overall in love and light, that I believe that justice will prevail, because they are in panic. That's why they are acting like this. They are in panic. They are running like the chickens that had their heads cut off. That's how it looks to me. So they are desperate and trying everything to still show whatever remaining power they have. I want to ask you a question, guys, since I don't have products for sale. I have a book that I collaborated on with Scott Ritter, covering Ukraine, the Scott Ritter interviews through the eyes of Anya Kay. The links always you have down below in the description box, and sometimes in the pinned comment as well. I want to ask you about if you would be interested if I create products with those statements that I always say at the end of the video, because if you would be interested in that, I would be glad to do it, and then all the money from sales will go towards my little house in Russia. With this being said, make sure to join me on Locals. Follow me on Instagram, join my mailing list. If you choose to support my work, you can do it by donations. There is PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, there is a fundraiser, there is Patreon account as well. And you can become the member of this channel. And that's about it for today. Lots of love And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Bye everyone. Let's end with the nice view. I see you tomorrow in another video. Bye guys.